Hi, welcome back. In this video, we're going to be looking at Chapter 6 of A Psalm for the Wild Built. And as always, let's start off with a passage from the chapter. Mosscap leaned forward. I don't think you've mentioned your family before. You said before that you're from Haydale. You said you left when you were old enough to become an initiate. But you've never talked about your people. I keep in touch. I visit, but I don't know, estranged? No. Dex said, recoiling. That word didn't fit. Not at all. I love them. They love me. I never really fit there. We don't have much in common. Mosscap considered that. Except a need to share food. The corner of Dex's mouth tugged upward. Yeah, I guess so. In Chapter 6 of A Psalm for the Wild Built, Dex cooks a meal for themselves, and Mosscap helps prepare it. While Mosscap is interested in the cooking process, and it enjoys helping in chopping and preparing the onions, it's not comfortable harvesting plants to be made into food. Dex and Mosscap finish making the meal, but Dex is rather uncomfortable eating by themselves. Mosscap asks why this is, and Dex explains that sharing food is, for humans, largely a cultural thing. As such, Dex splits half of their food and gives it to Mosscap to hold. And then Mosscap offers, after being prompted, their uneaten food, which they couldn't eat anyways, back to Dex. Mosscap finds the whole situation amusing and is happy that it helps make Dex feel more uncomfortable. This chapter explores cultural tendencies and how they don't always fit in a strictly utilitarian sense. Early on in the chapter, Mosscap asks why Dex would eat onions since they don't provide much nutritional value. In this chapter, we once again examine how Dex assumes that humans are somehow more distinct than other animals, in particular the way they drink. Mosscap corrects Dex by pointing out that other species of animals will eat fermented items as well to be inebriated. The final cultural versus utilitarian tendency is the sharing of food. Overall, the short chapter does a good job of further fleshing out the characters and helps the reader think about how each character perceives the other character. While we've had a lot of how Dex perceives Mosscap, we haven't seen as much about how Mosscap perceives Dex and humans. So, one of the big questions of this chapter is how exactly does Mosscap perceive Dex, humans, and human culture? We've had various hints throughout the story so far, but we haven't had a whole lot of explicit description from Mosscap. As always, cite the text and any other sources to support your answer. With that said, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in Chapter 7.